Hello and welcome to Daily Glow. I'm Caitlin, and we're going to do another future spouse reading today, but I do have other readings planned for the future also. This is my first reading in my new space, so that's very exciting. Interesting. I'm just working the energy into the cards a little bit as I prepare for this reading. And we do have a lot of great energy available today for this topic. We're asking, how will your future spouse fall in love with you? Yes. Okay, and I have 3 piles for you to choose from today. Today we have pile 1. You have the snake and the fern. The card says starting over. And your crystal is serpentine. Serpentine can be associated with Kundalini awakening. Serpentine can be associated with healing, including supporting the energies of physical healing and all kinds of healing. Also, growth, abundance, luck. Okay. Pile 2, you have the hawk and the thistle. The card says graceful persistence. And your crystal is Lapis Lazuli, which is associated with intelligence, wisdom, sovereignty, decision making, and other things. Pile 3, your card is the wolf and Rosehip. The card says guardianship. And your crystal is black tourmaline with quartz, which is extremely psychically protective and also just protective. Okay. And yes, my hands look pretty rough today because I have been working so hard on this move. They've been through a lot, so, well, they'll be better later. All right. I do not edit my readings, so the timestamps will be in the description box below, and I will see you at your reading. All right. I'm going to get ready for pile 1. Pile 1, if you chose the snake and fern and the serpentine crystal, this is your reading. Welcome to your reading. Let's find out, how will your future spouse fall in love with you? Please remember, these readings are intended for entertainment purposes. That doesn't mean that there aren't real messages here. I am reading the energy truly, and I am communicating with spirit guides truly. However, this is a general reading, so you need to be in charge of knowing what resonates for you and what doesn't resonate for you. And if you're not always sure, that's okay. This is a great way to play with your intuition, play around with seeing what energies you are resonating with, what you're not resonating with, and using discernment and picking and choosing what you're manifesting and all of that good stuff, okay? But primarily, this is a fun way to play around with your intuition. And if you're not having fun with it, I suggest you do something else. Interesting. Okay. I'm getting a very wise energy, pile 1 for your future spouse. And already the signs that were coming out could be Libra, Aquarius, Virgo, Taurus are signs that I'm getting already. Okay, and that wants to come again. Yes, Taurus energy, that's Taurus very strongly, okay. Okay, so okay. This is interesting. I'm getting some traits coming through that your future spouse will find adorable and endearing about you. First and foremost, your future spouse will fall in love with your incredible integrity. They love your values and your character. They think you have very strong character. And they think that you are very abundant. Your whole life is fertile. So when I say fertile, I don't mean you may not necessarily be literally fertile, but you have a green thumb in life. Like wherever you go, things are abundant and they prosper. You are bubbling with life. Everywhere you go, there's life and growth. They find you to be vivacious, beautiful, but having a very strong character, of like a very almost a stubborn person. There's like a stubbornness because we're getting very much like that Taurus energy. So there's something about you which is you probably are a little bit stubborn, and your future spouse finds that very endearing. They love your strength of character, but they also find it very, I don't know if it's endearing or relatable, but there's something that tugs on their heart when they think about difficult things that you've been through, like they relate to that. And there's a courage that you have there too, that you're not afraid to have difficult conversations. You're not afraid to confront things and speak the truth. They see that you've been through a lot and that you've maintained your integrity and your values. They also love the way that you sort of walk out to meet life fearlessly and unapologetically without necessarily knowing what's coming or how you are going to get there. Like you don't know every step of the way. You just allow the path to unfold for you one step at a time, and you're very sort of confident about that. But there also might seem to be something a little bit naive about it, and it makes them feel kind of protective. Yes, there's something about you that makes them feel very protective and endeared to you, even though they see you as a very strong person. They feel like you've had to be too strong for too long. So, yeah, it makes them feel kind of protective of you. Okay. I want to get some more specifics, though. Hmm. Okay, I'm also getting that they love your worldview and your religious or spiritual beliefs. Hmm. Okay, and then I'm getting also they love your curvy body. And I'm getting that you have a very thoughtful and deliberate way of living. And there's something soft and gentle about you in general. There's something where I'm getting strong Taurian energy. So you could be a Taurus, or you could be a Taurus moon sign, rising sign, Venus sign, something like that. Okay. But there's something about you that's soft and takes its time. There's something very patient about you. There's something very deliberate about you. There's something soft and gentle and peaceful about you. No nonsense, down to earth, and rather stubborn. And they really like these qualities in you. There's something very sultry and mm, I don't know what word I'm thinking of. Okay. Almost mesmerizing, hypnotizing, but very grounding. Yes, they love your patience, strength, and fortitude. This is so sweet. They feel like it's a miracle that they met you, but also they want to be a miracle for you. Oh my gosh. They okay, they feel like if you are very focused on your life and your own goals and yeah, you're not focused on them so much. You're focused on something else. You're very focused on building something. So it could be your career, it could be your home, your family, whatever it is that you're focused on is not so much them, and they really, really, really want to get your attention. That's kind of adorable. But they feel like if they could get your attention that they have a lot to offer, which they do. But for the person who I'm tapping into here with pile one, there's something that's sort of slow to change course about you or your energy. Um, so it may be that people don't often catch your attention, or, it's not like you don't easily fall in love, or you're not easily attracted to people or something like that. I don't know. You're not easily impressed. Yeah, I feel like you've been disappointed in life and actually you may have given up on love to a degree, or at least for now. Like it's not something that you're focused on at the time that you meet this person. Yeah, you're focused on building something. And they see you that way as someone who's very creative, and like I said, that very fertile energy and very abundant in your own life. So you're very focused on something else that you're working on, but they feel like this urgency to get your attention. Yeah, because for some reason you're not paying attention to them, you're not seeing them, you're not looking for love, so you're not noticing it. Oops. When they fall on the floor, that's extra energy. Do that. Mm. Okay, yeah, you are focused on work. Yeah. And I feel like you feel like love is usually, or what people call love, is usually superficial. So it feels like when you look around you, yeah, you're a bit jaded. Okay, but you're not entirely wrong. So when you look around you and you see people supposedly falling in love, typically it's like they're just validating each other on an ego level. It's this mutual admiration society. And you feel like that's not really very real or very deep and not something that you're interested in. You have no interest in that sort of vanity that is what most love is. It's very superficial. It's based on very superficial things. It's based on just making each other feel good about yourself on an ego level. It's based on superficial and passing pleasures. It's just whatever. It's not interesting to you. So it's not something that you're focused on at all. But the thing is that you may not be noticing real love. But in a way, that's okay because I feel like it's good for this future spouse to put some work in anyway. Like it's really as it should be for you to be focused on your own things. Mhm. Okay, but tell me more. How does your future spouse fall in love with you? I think they love how strong you are in your own sense of self and your own life. Like you don't feel like you need anybody. Look at that. How, wow. Okay, just a second. I have to find a place to put these cards, but I'm gonna show you this. This is so This is the card that came out. Look, this was your card, right? The snake and the fern. And this is the card that came out, movement, snake. Yeah. So, okay. And that also has to do with creation and growth and healing. Yeah, they love how independent you are, I guess, and how you're not necessarily looking for anything from anybody. Hmm. Okay. Oh, okay. Fate. Wow, and they feel like it's fated. Nature and transmute. Yeah, I feel like you are. Wow, and there's the Two of Swords again. That's so interesting. Um, okay. Hang on, I need to know more. Okay, before I forget what I was going to say, you are an energy worker in some sense. You might call yourself a light worker, or it may not be something that you're very aware of, but you probably are. Like you are working with energy around you, transmuting and alchemizing energy around you somehow in some way in the work that you're doing. For instance, you can transmute and alchemize energy through gardening, or if you're a therapist, through work with your clients, or even as an electrician, you can transmute and alchemize energy through literal electricity grid work. I mean, people don't know there's so many different ways to work with energy. A magician. Yes, you are a powerful manifester and energy worker. But and they either recognize this in you literally, or they just sense it in you. But I feel like they think that there's something about you which is very mysterious, but also there's something vulnerable about you too. It's endearing that you have like, and there's the sign of Libra coming through again. Um, yeah, we have Taurus and Libra very strongly here, but and your patience. Yeah, they love your patience and your integrity. But they feel like there's something that you don't see or understand, like you have a blind spot. Or maybe it's your stubbornness that you are willfully refusing to look at something or refusing to make a decision on something. I don't know. But it's like this mix of the human and the divine that they find in you is very alluring and endearing. Like you have these very angelic qualities, and then you have these very human qualities, if that makes sense. Yes, and they feel like they see themselves in that in some way. Like they relate to that, the idea of having some very divine, angelic sorts of qualities and some very human, stubborn qualities. And they feel like you like them as much as they like you. They feel like it's reciprocated. Yes. Hmm. They feel like they have a unique ability to move you when you are so stubborn that nobody can move you, but they can move you. Yes. And know, they know that you will choose them. Yes. And again, they believe it's fated. It feels fated. And they are extremely attracted to you. Like they feel like they must have you. They feel like they must have you, and they believe that you will choose them because it's fated, because it's the right time, because it's fate and it's the right time. And they are willing to face head on any obstacles, any difficult conversations, any challenges, and transmute the energy together. They have a strong belief in your ability to transmute energy, and they feel like you guys can do that together. Very interesting. Okay, I'm going to clear this. They feel like in you, they see a combination of a very strong and very vulnerable person who is more strong than vulnerable, but there's that mix, there's that combination again of the divine and the human, which is endearing. And they feel like there's something very unique about you, very unique. Like they know they will never ever meet anyone like you again. And that's why they have to get your attention. Like they cannot let you get away. They feel like the time when they fall in love with you, they feel like the time is now, the time is right. And for pile one, there was some unfinished business between you two. So this is someone who you have had some sort of interaction with in the past. So you may have had a missed connection, or you may have had, yeah, some interaction with them in the past. Hmm. Yeah, it's possible that you were both too stubborn in the past. And it's interesting because they're coming to understand that they're the one who needs to be more flexible. They're also understanding the power that they have over you, which they have never really, they've never explored it or taken advantage of it before. And they are starting to understand the way that your energies work with each other. And they're starting to understand that if they model flexibility, that you will mirror that back to them. And that if they model ego and stubbornness, you will mirror that back to them. They're starting to understand that and realize that they have the ability to take charge of this connection. And for this particular pile, now I read for people of any gender, divine masculine, divine feminine, whatever. But for this particular pile, I'm reading for divine feminine, and your future spouse is divine masculine. That's what this pile is. And this person is willing to put in the work now because they have understood. I think before they did not fully understand your connection, and they felt like it wasn't a good investment. And now they understand the way that the energy works between you two, and they understand that you are a very unique kind of person, and they understand how your energy works. So they feel like they know how to make it work. Yeah, this person, hmm, this person has felt lost without you. But it's interesting because I feel like, okay, so this is a pile where you guys have had interaction in the past, and I feel like even though they tried to move on, they couldn't stop, they couldn't stop feeling the connection to you. And somehow it connected them more with their spirituality and source energy and God energy. And however you conceptualize that or however they conceptualize that. Hmm. And it's interesting because they started interacting with their life in a different way and they started building something and they started being more intentional about their life. This is so weird. Just a second. Hmm. Let's see. We had one fall on the floor, and that's extra. Oh, gee. Oh, goodness. Yes, we have exchanging gifts. Yes, they've started to understand that you have what they need and they have what you need. And this is not necessarily right now. For some of you, this is, but this is whenever I'm tapping into the time when they are falling in love with you. So they're falling in love with you because they really start to understand you and how your energy works and how unique you are and how you two are so perfect together. And they love your grace and your strength and your vulnerability and your, yes, they really love your body too. That keeps coming through. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, but how will they fall in love with you? Let me see. Let's get some more messages. I'd like some more specifics now. Those were kind of like general, like not general, but like very overarching ideas. So specifically, let's get into here. Oh, okay. How does pile one's future spouse fall in love with them? How does pile one's future spouse fall in love with them? They love how, this is so funny. They love how detached you are and how chill you are and how, I don't, how I'm trying to say this. Okay. Um, you are very kind of reserved, at least with them around the time that I'm picking up on. Um, they think that you're like a little bit uptight and they want to loosen you up. It's funny because they see you as a bit of a challenge and they like that. There's something about you that's very chill and laid back and independent. Um, I don't know. It might even be like a trauma response, but it is what it is. But they want to loosen you up and they want you to relax and they want you to trust them and they want you to not feel like you have to do everything by yourself and they want you to have fun and they take it as a challenge and I don't know, they're like really motivated. Yeah, you make them want to commit. And they know that you're the sort of person that when you commit, like you're extremely committed, and they find that very attractive and they want you to commit to them. Again, they love your values, they love your integrity and your loyalty. They see a lot of possibilities They see a lot of potential in the possibility of your future together, but they also may see that you're the sort of person that a lot of people might be interested in or attracted to. And so there is a desire to get you to commit to them. Yeah, they definitely want to fight for you. And they feel like they have an advantage over anyone else. However, they also feel like there is competition or obstacles of some kind. And again, it's motivating. Yes, 100%. They feel like there's a rival. Yes, and they feel like they 100% want to cut off any other options that you might think or not even be aware that you have. They definitely want to lock it down, but also they feel like if you fell in love with somebody else, it would break their heart. Oh, that's actually a really strong energy. Yeah, they may feel like they missed out on this opportunity in the past or almost missed out on this opportunity in the past. And this time they don't want to miss out on it and they want to marry you or have a committed relationship with you. But I mean, this is marriage, marriage, marriage. They want to marry you. Yeah, they don't want to miss out on it again. They want to have a family with you. Yeah, and they want to move. So either they want to move to you or they want to move you, but somebody's moving. Mm-hmm. And they also want to have like a healthy lifestyle with you also. And they see that you two can be very successful together and that there's so much that you two could do together. It's like the possibilities are endless. They're very excited about the possibility of what kind of life you guys could have together and what you could do together. They're just really excited about you and who you are and the kind of person that you are and the kind of energy that you have. They're really excited about the kind of work that you do and the kind of work that you guys could do together. But they also just want to love you. They want you to feel loved and they want you to be able to relax. And part of it is because you're so soft and gentle with them too. They know that you have a very sweet, soft heart, and that even though you may seem in some ways, I don't like kind of detached and like very ultra independent, but I really think that's probably more of a trauma response, and they want you to be able to let your guard down and just trust them. Yeah, it's like for pile number one, it's like the obstacles and challenges are part of what motivate your future spouse to get excited about chasing you. I don't know. It's just what I'm picking up on, okay? Yeah, I don't know. I don't really relate to that, but I don't know. Probably a masculine energy thing. Mhm. Yes, confirmation. That's so funny. Yeah. They really want to tell you how they feel about you, and they're so attracted to you, and they're so excited about you. Yes. And they're also really excited to take the relationship to the next level. Okay. Yes, and they think you're very attractive, and yeah, they're just extremely attracted to you. Okay. Let's see. What else can we get about how does pile one's future spouse fall in love with them? Oh, love. Yes, love. Divine source is the idea that no person, place, or thing is your salvation, only love itself. So there's something about your energy which is so unique. And it's like in falling in love with you, they aren't just falling in love with you, they're falling in love with the way that you make them feel connected to their authentic self and to God and the universe. That's why it's like nothing else compares. Like nothing, there's nothing else like it because it's not just two human individuals. It's like two human individuals and their spiritual selves and the universe. It's like it's a very deep connection. Okay, one last message. Tell me, how does Pile? Hmm. Okay, you guys have such a spiritual connection. Oh my gosh. So it's possible that when they first were attracted to you, that they really thought that it was silly. That, yeah, they really tried to let this go because they really thought they were being delusional. But it's like the universe has been bringing them back to you. Like there's so many signs and synchronicities that are literally bringing them back to you. They're getting so much spiritual confirmation about the importance of the special connection that they have with you. It's interesting. They might have thought that they were being delusional about this because you're so detached. I don't know if that's the case for everyone. Yeah, but there's something about you that is just extraordinary. And they may have felt delusional for thinking that you would like them. So I don't know why they would feel like that. It could be different reasons for different people. Yeah, but it's like, look at that. We have extraordinary individuality, non-duality. You guys have such a deep, deep connection. It's like they feel like they can be more themselves when they are connected to your energy. And they realize, again, like the non-duality of things, how things can be more than just one thing. Dear love, open me to your will, release me from my attachments, surprise and delight me with your plan. You know what's needed, and I am open to receive. They feel like when they connect with your energy, they connect with so much possibility and expansiveness, and they feel more themselves. And again, they feel like there's no one else like you. They're so into you. And they're getting so many signs and synchronicities about you. Yeah, that's why they fall in love with you. Pile one. Okay, that was a little bit different than what I expected to get, I guess. I thought I would get more like concrete, like, scenarios and situations, but you guys have a really deep spiritual connection. So that's super exciting. Thank you so much for watching today and for reading, for being here during this reading with me, co-creating this reading with me, and have a great rest of your day. Okay, and I'm gonna get set up for pile two. Just gonna clear the energy a little bit. Mhm. Do you guys think of my new space? I like it. I love it, but I'm still getting organized. Oh, you know what's interesting? This is pile three. Wow. Wonder what that means. This is pile two. Okay. Welcome to your reading pile two. If you chose the Hawk and Thistle, Graceful Persistence, and the Lapis Lazuli crystal, then this is your reading. Welcome to your reading. Let's find out, how does your future spouse fall in love with you? Okay. I'm actually going to start with Whispers of the Ocean. Hmm. This person feels really empowered when they're around you. They may fall in love with you in the evening, or they may realize that they love you in the evening or at a full moon. Mm. Okay, and again, this has come through in past readings, but they may realize or fall in love with you or realize they're falling in love with you when you two are away from the hustle and bustle of your normal lives. And they can really tune into what they're really thinking and feeling and their real feelings and their intuition. And that's when they realize that they're falling in love with you. They also realize they're falling in love with you because they feel almost childish around you. Like they feel shy and awkward. Yes, they feel like a child around you because of how they feel about you. They feel sort of like, I can't even think of words. Yeah, you make them feel really shy. That's kind of adorable. Mm-hmm. They feel almost, this is so interesting because on one hand they feel almost insecure. Like again, it's like they feel like a child around you. Like they feel silly, they feel awkward, they feel like they have to figure it out. But they also feel empowered around you. It's because you're so beautiful and attractive to them. You're so gorgeous. It kind of like throws them off. And then, yeah, but it makes them remember like who they are and what they want. And they will take charge of the situation. Or they'll take charge of their life, like they're going to get their shit together because they want to have a family with you. Yeah, they want to have a family with you and they want to be a good partner and they want to live with you. You are extremely motivating to this person. They may have regrets or feel guilty, possibly because for some of you, this person may have approached you in a really inappropriate or childish way in the beginning. That's not for everybody, or it's also possible that you made them feel so shy and like off balance at first, that they were just really off their game and really silly. And I don't know. And but it was kind of a good thing because it completely got them out of their ego and made them realize what was really important to them. And then they show up as the emperor and they come forward as the emperor, really empowered. Yeah, then they will ask you to marry them, but also for some of them, they may move and they will completely close out any other cycles or any other situations which precluded them from being able to be with you. So that could be any number of things. It could mean a big move, it could mean leaving a particular job or cutting off ties with certain people. Yes, putting boundaries in place with certain people or even with family. Yeah, 100% leaving things behind. They don't want to have any regrets with you. Hmm. Okay, pile two. How does pile two's person fall in love with them? They see what you're doing in your life and they want to help you. They see how strong you are, and they also love how successful you are and goal-oriented you are. And they feel like they want to help you out financially too. That's coming through. They want to offer you something. Hmm. Yeah, they want to offer you some kind of help, but it also could be, what is this? I don't know. They want to make your life easier somehow. It could be moving in together for some of you. They want you to have the opportunity to heal. Yeah, they want to make your life easier. Hmm. Yeah, they want to offer you something. But they want to do it right and not rush into anything. Hmm. Let's do let's do this one. Okay. Pile two. How does pile two's future spouse fall in love with them? Yeah, you two are on vacation and they get you a gift, something little. I think they realize that they're falling in love with you because they're willing to change things in their life to be with you. Who's this? Oh, and because they feel so peaceful around you. Also, some of them want to have a baby with you, but they feel so peaceful around your energy. And it's interesting because it's like they're at a point in life, and perhaps you are too, I feel that you are too, where you two have to decide whether to pursue a relationship with each other or go your separate ways. But it's like for them, it's not even a choice. Like they just, I mean, it is, but they just know what they want. You make them feel extremely empowered. Like you make them feel really, really strong in their masculine energy. I feel that They feel like when they're with you, they feel like their childhood dreams could come true, or they feel like things that they wanted a long time ago that they kind of gave up on, like could come true. There's like a Disney song that I'm getting. It's from the movie Hercules. What song is that? Is it Go the Distance? Um, it goes, I have often dreamed of a far off place with a great warm welcome would be waiting for me. Oh, how does that go? I have often dreamed of a far off place where a great warm welcome would be waiting for me, and the crowds would cheer when they see my face, and a voice keeps saying, "This is where you're meant to be." Mhm. I will find my way. I can go the distance. I'll be there someday if I can be strong. I know every mile will be worth my while. I would go most anywhere to feel like I belong. Yes. Yes, they feel it's very healing to be in your presence. It's like they remember things about themselves that they had forgotten or given up on. And it feels very mutual too. It's like you two can heal each other. And you two have such a very reciprocal and balanced connection. They just feel so much peace around you, so much peace with you. That's why they fall in love with you. The interesting thing is they feel like they can do things that would have been felt really risky or scary otherwise, but they don't feel risky or scary when they're with you. Like it just makes sense because it feels fated and they feel like they've remembered themselves and who they really are. And they realize that it was because they were disconnected to some degree from feminine energy and also from their own energy too. This person may have been watching you for a while. Or when you're first dating or getting to know each other, they're watching you and they're really, really, this person is maybe an overthinker or they're definitely a thinker. They've been thinking about this a lot before they make a move. And yeah, and by the time, I don't know, it's like this could be now that I'm tapping into, or this could be in the future because this is when they're falling in love with you. But it's like they know that it's time to go. They know that it's time to act. And it's like they're at this fork in the road, but it's not even a question at that point because they already know. Yeah. But there's also like they've come to this sort of decision point before, and they always spin around and around into the same, like the same cycle, the same story that keeps looping. But they're in a different energy now. So part of that, yeah, there's a lot of things going on here. Part of that is this healing energy that they find it very healing to be in your presence. And part of it is because you two take the time to get away and just focus on each other. And it's this very peaceful space where they can come to know and really be aware of their real feelings. Okay, I have to get these cards that fell. This is interesting because when they first met you or were aware of you, they really thought that you two weren't right for each other because you're from two different worlds. You have very different experiences in life and probably very different spheres, but for some reason they come to know that it's fated. Why do they come to know that it's fated? Also, they may sort of see you this way too. Like they see you like this beautiful fairy, very ethereal and glowing, and something soft and magical about you. Because it feels like when they connect with you, they connect with who they were really meant to be. And they connect with parts of themselves that they'd really like disconnected from, right? Like like when you have sort of like certain trauma responses or survival mechanisms, people will identify with that and think that that's their personality. But in response to trauma or just life, right? They had let go of certain parts of themselves that they even may have forgotten about or just completely disassociated with. And now they can fully identify with their whole self. And they feel like you two have a very healthy reciprocal energy. They may have come to understand that you also like them. Like they may have thought that you didn't like them. I don't know. Yeah, but they realize that you also like them. And again, they may have waited for you for a long time or not waited for you. That's not the right. What is it? It's like a part of them was waiting for you. They may have tried to move on with their life. Confirmation. Because originally, I think when they first meet you, they think that you two aren't right for each other. But it's like something inside of them is just waiting. And then ultimately they tell you how they feel because they realize that they love you. They probably fall in love with you before they even realize it. So that by the time they realize it, they're like already in love with you. Yeah. Yeah. And they want to build a life with you and they want to make it official. Yeah, again, you really inspire them to get their shit together. But at first they're really wondering like why do they like you and why do they have feelings for you? And they realize that it's because you two are soulmates. Yeah. And they feel, yeah, they feel like knowing you has awakened some part of them. They may feel that they've had an awakening. Yeah, again, this person has watched you for a while. Yes. And and then they realize that it's time to act and to live the life that they've imagined. Mm-hmm. Okay. How does pile two fall in love with their no? How does pile two's future spouse fall in love with them? There's something about you two exchanging gifts and it may not even be like a thing. It could be like words or even like songs or conversation. You may have messages in pile one. They love your honesty. Yeah, they love how you live in balance. Hmm. They love your healthy self-esteem, your self-respect, and you have high standards for your life, and it makes them want to have higher standards for their life. But you're also very giving. Yeah. Yes. Like the whatever it is that you're offering them is very genuine. And it may just be your genuine love, your genuine presence, your genuine thoughts. Like you're very genuine. How does pile two's future spouse fall in love with them? But I keep seeing that scenario where you two are like sort of like on vacation together or something like that. Like you are, it's like there's some sort of getaway. It's like literally like I'm hearing getaway. Like you get away from your regular life. They love that you're like a risk taker, that you don't really care what other people think or what other people consider to be right or wrong. Like you have a very strong sense of integrity, but it's based in your own perception of morality. Like it's very independent of others. They also love how creative you are, but it's like you have this mix of creativity and destruction. So you are an extremely balanced individual who is not afraid to work with both darkness energies and light energies. And they feel that you reflect non-duality and that you work fluidly with energies of creation and destruction, but also they feel that you two mirror each other. Yes, and they love your patience. That has come out before too. I don't know if I said that. They love how connected you are to your body. Yes, and we have okay. We have sacred sexuality and ask body. Yes. You're very you're yeah, you have a very healthy relationship with your body. Popping cards in a place where they're hard to get. Just okay. When they drop on the floor, that is extra energy. And we have paradox. Yes. It's like the paradox of destruction and creation and seeker. The seeker. I feel like this person has been seeking something more genuine, more authentic, more deeply meaningful, and they may not even have realized that fully or known what it was they were looking for. What they were really looking for was to love themselves more, to connect more fully with their own self, and to reconnect with their ability to dream that they had in childhood. Again, things that they had long ago given up on. It's almost like they had got into this rut of feeling like they had to be good. And whatever the narrow conception of what it is to be good. And in you, they see a fully manifested human being who lives outside of other people's perceptions of what is good or bad. But you live very much in pattern with nature and her patterns of creation and destruction. That you are not seeing the body as some sort of carnal sin, but that you see your body as something sacred and your own connection with nature as sacred, and in every sense, even in ways that other people might see as darker. I don't know. Yeah, nature. It awakens them to a way of thinking about things, ways that they may not have thought of before. Yes, we have ascension and a higher perspective. Yep. And fate. Yes, they feel like it was fated for them to meet you. Now, I feel like when they first met you, even if they thought that it was fated to meet you, that doesn't necessarily mean that they thought that it was right for you two to be with each other. In fact, I feel like they were so attracted to you physically that they may have felt like, yeah, I feel like they had some sort of like, um, what is this that I'm picking up on? It's like some sort of confirmation, subconsciously internalized ideas that lust is like prudish, like not prudish, but like some prudish beliefs about like that lust is bad. Like this person has very like good, bad internalized ideas. And so meeting you has really broken them out of that way of thinking, which I don't think they were consciously aware of. I don't think that it matches like what they consciously believe. They feel like you have so much compassion. Like you're so real. Yes, and that they can be honest with you because you are a very genuine, honest person. Like you see the world in more than just black and white. And you have really strong boundaries. And when people don't treat you right, you withdraw. I think that that scared them at first because they're used to much more codependent relationships where people will sort of be clingy. And if they pull back a little bit, the person will sort of chase them um or like try to get them back, and you're not like that. Like if like you have strong boundaries, and if somebody doesn't come approach you in a particular way, you just withdraw and you just manifest what you want in your life. You're very playful with life. And you're a dreamer and you have dreams and goals that you're focused on. You're not focused on other people. You're focused on loving yourself, enjoying your life, and creating your life. And it's like it's opened them up to this whole other way of seeing the world and living, and things that they themselves had cut off within themselves without realizing. It's made them examine things in themselves. This is such a deep pile. Oh my gosh. Pile two is really deep too. I really thought I was going to do these readings and it was going to be like, I don't know, like they love the way that you twirl your hair and they love the funny little jokes that you make. And I'm not getting that. It's like they love your spirituality. It's like they love that you've awakened something within them that it's like triggered an ascension in them to meet you. Like they've integrated their shadow self because of you. They've discovered their true self and their true heart because of you. Like it's really deep. And it's really interesting because they may have rejected you or they may have felt rejected by you. When you first meet your future spouse, there's some sort of rejection. I think they rejected you or they rejected this. Yeah. But then they also may have felt rejected by you. I'm getting a strong Chiron. Is that Chiron? Yeah, that's Chiron. I'm getting a strong Chiron energy. That's that energy where somebody feels rejected, so they reject you, and then you sort of reject them back. And then they're really surprised by how rejected they feel by you. And it's this whole, it's this whole bam, bam, bam thing that is like really painful, like surprisingly painful. But it helps you to heal things that you didn't even realize about yourself. Yeah, when they felt like they lost you, like they rejected you initially, but then when they felt like they lost you, they were really despondent and they were really surprised. They may have been really resistant to this connection at first because they were a very impatient person when they first met you, and they thought by acting in ways that people perceive as good, that they could get people to like them and that they could earn like certain positions in society by being perfect and or seeming perfect, but it was all much more surface level. And it was within that duality of like good, bad, like I'm going to be a good person. I'm going to show people what a good person that I am, you know? But it was, they had these major parts of their soul that they had cut off. And truly, they were at an impasse in their life. And meeting you brought them to enlightenment gradually. Yep. This is a very deep pile. They learned to accept parts of themselves that they had cut off. Still, they wondered whether you two were supposed to be together in that way or not. Yeah, because there was insecurity, because for so long they had um hidden behind a facade while isolating their real self. And this is because of grief, because they've been through so much grief. This is so deep. This is crazy. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, but they realize that you are their soulmate and that they have this strong passion for you. But it's interesting because it's like the passion is also a passion for life. It's like in connecting with their passion for you, they connected with parts of themselves that they had cut off. You really turned this person's world upside down. I can say that. How does Pile Two's future spouse fall in love with them? Well, first of all, because the effect that your energy has on them is that it has totally cleared out so much gunk out of their aura and out of their life. So they've gone through this massive tower moment from meeting you, first of all. Yeah, and then on the floor we have change. Yeah, you literally have turned this person's world upside down. They've gone through a massive, massive change because of the feelings that they have about you. Yeah. No one has ever affected them the way that you have. Yeah. But you've opened their heart. Yes, you are an absolute surprise to them. And they were very resistant to this at first. But how does Pile 2 fall in love with their future spouse? No. How does Pile, we already did that reading. How does Pile Two's future spouse fall in love with them? Oh, because you make them feel liberated and you make them feel like they have this intrinsic value. Yeah. And nobody's ever made them feel like that before. Like, don't get me wrong, people have made them feel good about themselves before. Like, they felt good with other people before, and maybe they've even felt free with other people before, but it was much more ego level. It was like, it's like you see my persona and you like my persona and you're validating my persona, and that makes me feel good about myself. And it's like, you make me feel like I can do whatever I want to do. So I feel free when I'm around you, but that's all very ego level. Like my ego is not in any way, um, like in no way is my ego made uncomfortable. So I don't have to grow as a person to be with these people, right? With you, they were so resistant to it because your very existence, your very energy challenged the constraints that they were living within that they had accepted without even being aware of them. It's like they were living in this little box and they didn't even realize it. And they thought they were free. And they were surrounded by a lot of people who were telling them, yes, you're great. Yes, you are free. Wow, you're amazing. And you didn't play that game with them. And they started to connect with something much bigger than that and something much more authentic than that. Yeah, it's individuality. Where did that go? And sanctity. I feel like this person was like really, um, they were like not a spiritual person and they were really dismissive of anything spiritual or anything holy or sacred. Like it kind of gave them the ick until they met you and they started connecting with something sacred. They started recognizing that there is sacredness in certain things. And even in belief systems and religions that they personally do not relate with or like necessarily believe in, they started connecting with a more respectful way of living and thinking. And it's because yeah, this is so deep. I hope I'm not boring you guys. That's just what I'm picking up on. Okay, that's why they fall in love with you. It's because it's like you've awakened them to their true self. That's all. It's like you completely changed their perspective. And it's like you didn't do any of that on purpose. You didn't try to teach them. You didn't try to tell them anything. It's like you're just minding your business and doing your own thing. And I don't know. Okay, how does Pile Two's future spouse fall in love with them? You make them want to be like more stable, more grown up, more mature, more reliable. You make them want to take care of you. You make them want to. This is interesting. It's like they realized that they were willing to wait for you, which is crazy. They may not have really connected with that kind of energy before. But again, it's also like you're connecting them with themselves. They may have felt like to be with you was impossible for some reason, but they wanted to find a way to do it anyway. Yeah, because they fall in love with you. Also, I think if they see that you have feelings for them, then that's like the last straw. Like they really can't resist you after that. Yes, because you show your heart to them and they see that you do love them and they see your softness and it's like they may have been resisting it to some point, like to some degree up to that point, and then they cannot resist anymore because you just melt their heart. Yeah, but they've been watching you for a while. Yeah, and they may have been waiting for the right opportunity, but they really, really, really want to make this happen now. Yeah, when they see their opportunity, they're going to rush in quickly. Interesting. All right, pile two, I'm gonna leave it there. I hope that reading made sense and I hope that you got something out of it. And thank you so much for watching and have a great day. Um, this whole reading is going kind of differently than I expected or anticipated. Okay, I'm gonna get ready for pile three. One moment. All right. Welcome to your reading pile two. If you chose the wolf and rosehip guardianship, then this is your reading. And if you chose black tourmaline with quartz, this is your reading. Welcome to your reading Let's find out. How does your future spouse fall in love with you? Wow. Interesting. Hmm. Tower. Okay. So I felt inspired to get a book out that is actually from a different tarot deck. And this book is called Illuminating the Prophecy. I don't even remember what this tarot deck is called. Well, I don't know. It's that tarot deck. I don't use it very often. I think I have used it though. But I wanted to read from the Tower. I don't know. I just felt inspired to do so. This says, in a dreadful way, seeing this card always excites me. Is it terrible to admit that? Most people find the Tower quite terrifying. The Tower is something that you have come to rely on, a truth you believed utterly, or a way of life that you had grown accustomed to. And in this card, it is entirely destroyed in a roaring, starving fire, leaving a blackened and unfamiliar territory on the other side of it. Sometimes it comes by surprise, this ravaging force that destroys something you thought was immutable, but usually it does make sense in retrospect. This is change that has been agitating for a long time, wisdom that has been battering at your mind, confirmation, a truth that you've been refusing to admit. You've held it back consciously or subconsciously, and now the fire explodes through your defenses, all the more for having been blocked up for so long. You have hit this person's conscious awareness like lightning. You have turned their world upside down and disabused them of some ideas that they had been clinging to despite their better wisdom. But you represented something very real, very tangible, a new idea manifested in reality, something that they had been manifesting without being consciously aware of it to that point. Now I'm going to read these cards a bit differently because I'm reading them intuitively right now. Okay, and I hear again that song. This has come through the channel before. It's called You Move Me by Susan Ashton, and it's specifically that part that says you go whistling through the dark, making light of it. I think that's how it goes. There's something very lighthearted about you. You're very lighthearted and positive. Mm-hmm. There's something very soft about you too. You're very respectful. It's interesting. I feel like this person has been attracted more so or sort of gravitated towards people who or had been who are more sort of hardened and sardonic. And it's like you have this very lighthearted, playful way of being, but it's very genuine and respectful. And there's something soft, like unapologetically soft about you. Like you're very real and you're not, I don't know, there's something about you that's neither hardened nor sardonic. And I don't mean to say that you don't ever use sarcasm, but it's like you're just unapologetically genuine. Like you're not a hardened individual at all. You don't try to pretend to be like dark or hard or I don't know, anything that you're not. Interesting. Like, I don't know, I'm trying to just describe the energy that I'm tapping into in you, pile three, and it's very soft and sweet, but also playful in its own way, even mischievous in its own way. You have a passion for life that you don't try to hide. It's like there's people who are more try to play it cool, right? People try to play it cool and be like, "Oh, I'm over that. Oh, whatever. Oh, that doesn't impress me." Like they're so unimpressed by everything. They're so jaded. But it's like you live with the opposite, like this non-stop, never-ending wonder, like everything is amazing, like everything is a miracle, like everything in life is magic to you. It's like you have this childlike wonder, and it's very, very different than what this person, like how this person has lived or the sort of person that they have gravitated towards. You live with passion, you live with purpose, you live with joy. And it's funny because I think this person has been manifesting that, which is why you show up in their world. But it's like they're resistant to it up to the end. Up to the last minute when you break through. Yes, this person had become very, it's a thread of energy we were getting before too. This person had sort of given up on a lot of dreams that they had before, and it's like you show them a different way of living. It's like you're so vibrantly full of life. Okay, but for pile three, there's also something about having a child too that I'm getting. This person may have never wanted to have children until they met you. Like you really opened this person up to a very different way of life and a very different way of thinking. And the way that they were before was really because of grief. Like this person had become seemingly very hardened in some ways because of grief. And they'd given up on a lot of things that they used to want, and they had a lot of insecurity. So, in connecting with your energy, and when you come into their life, it connects them with this forgiveness energy that they're able to let go of the past and things from the past, and they're able to forgive themselves and reconnect with a spirit of service, which is such a big part of their authentic self, but they're able to really connect with this more deeply when they give up on the perfectionism. But there's also something about you that they also feel like you are very beautiful, and there's something very beautiful and vibrant and like perfect about you. Not like you're literally perfect, but they just feel like you're perfect for them. They also feel like you're very vibrant and very alive and very, mm, I don't know, vivacious, full of life, vibrant, full of energy. Mhm. Yeah, they have a very, very, very strong desire for you. Clarify Knight of Swords. They may be afraid though that they're like too, haha, um, they may be afraid that they're like too negative of a person for you, or that they're too like, no. Their energy is coming across a lot harsher and harder, or at least it was before. It makes them think about about living a different way. Yeah. They want to, oh my goodness. Yes, this person wants to They're making plans to be with you. Yes, because they have a completely different perspective. It's like their old life is hollow after they meet you. They realize they don't want to lose you. Hmm. They're willing to leave things behind. Yes, they're willing to leave things behind even suddenly. Okay, but why? But why? But why? But why? Why do they fall in love with you? Yes, you came out of nowhere. And this is sort of a thread of energy, even though I cleared the energy in between each pile, but it's still like each of these piles has a theme of that meeting you has helped them connect with their true self and their true purpose in life and sort of like triggered in them some sort of ascension or awakening or something like that. So that's a thread of energy that has gone through all of the piles. Um, but how do they fall in love with you? How does pile three's future spouse fall in love with them? Yeah, they felt like they were adrift before they met you. They may not have felt like that before. They feel like they can appreciate life more after they met you. Like you've awoken them to their passion for life. They're single-minded in their desire for you and their desire to pursue you. This card says, use your sensitivity to know when to act. Connect to your heart and connect your heart to your head when determining what you would like. Yes. They love how resilient you are. It's interesting because you haven't necessarily had an easy life, but you still embrace life. I heard fearlessly with so much. I heard pizzazz. That's really funny. Um, you embrace life with so much joy and yeah, like a fearlessness. And it's not because things have been easy for you. It's just I am getting a strong fire energy from pile three. So you may have some sort of fire sign placement that's Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. They also see you as very abundant, like a very abundant person, whether that's literally financially or just, again, that you're so full of life and energy and vibrancy wherever you go. Yeah, and because you just enjoy your life so much and you enjoy your journey, and this person had so much more of a darker outlook before they met you. And here's what's interesting too, is it's not because you are ignoring the dark side of life. Like you're not unaware of the negatives in life. You're not doing toxic positivity. You're not doing spiritual bypassing. Like you are well aware of um the darker sides of life and negative things that are happening, difficult things that happen in the world. You're not turning a blind eye to these things, but you still embrace life and enjoy life. It's like you go whistling through the darkness. Yes. Was that from pile two? Mm-hmm. You're very persistent. You have an indomitable spirit that you never give up on something that you really want. And they find that really, really sexy. Also, because you're somebody who really lifts up others and you're very supportive of others. And they feel like they've become complacent, or they realize after meeting you that they've become somewhat complacent in some ways, that in some ways their life was stalled out, and you bring into their life this surge of energy. You become more aware of they become more aware of the dynamics of their life. They also feel really safe with you. Like they feel like it's safe to love. Like they feel like it's safe to open up to you. You're a very loving person. It's interesting because change direction with ease. They feel like it's not a difficult decision to change up their life, to make room for you, to be with you, for you two to be together, because I heard it's almost a no-brainer because it makes so much sense. Because I heard it's the only thing that makes sense. Yes, again, you are a very supportive person. You're a very honest person. You're also someone who's very wise. And again, you see, I think you're like very aware of current events, or you're just very tuned in. Um, but you're also very joyful and optimistic, and you're very supportive. I see you having a very strong, healthy relationships with people in your community. Clarify round and round. Yeah, this person feels like you guys could really go the distance. This person feels like this would never end. Like you two could have a really stable, healthy, and renewable sort of energy, renewable energy. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Yeah, like you guys would never run out of energy together. And this person may feel like, yes, like they very much awakened their energy in response to you. And yes, I think this has come out in every pile. I'm not sure, but yes, they want to get their shit together, basically, excuse my language. And clarify message. Hmm. Oh my gosh. Yeah, they want to, so it would depend on your situation, but basically they see having a family with you, they see commitment with you, they see having a life with you, and they want to bring you that truth. Yeah, they want to send you a message or communicate with you in some way, but also they've recognized the truth of that for themselves. How does pile three's future spouse fall in love with them? Thank you. Love, compassion. Oh my gosh. Because they feel so much love and compassion from you. They feel like they can reclaim who they were really meant to be. Yes, and they feel like if they feel like they're interested in life again, and they feel like you're really honest and your energy is really very honest and I don't know how to say this, even almost confrontational, like you don't I don't know how to say it, like you just out and say things. You know what I mean? Like you don't hide anything. And it sort of challenges them to be more open and honest. Yeah, your energy is very challenging to them. Again, we've kind of gotten that in different ways with each pile. And you've really challenged them to step into their divine masculine energy and to ascend. And they may have initially withdrawn to sort of integrate and incorporate this wisdom, but they are going to communicate with you. Yes, because this person is stepping into their power. And you two are going to have a very stable life together, but also they want to be a pillar for you. They want to be strong and stable for you and build a strong and stable connection together that will be um healing and sustainable for both of you. Yes, and they want to they also want to kind of think outside the box and build a life that makes sense to support what you need and what they need, regardless of whether that fits into what other people's expectations may or may not be. And you two may be very creative people, but again, they may be thinking of like sort of creative outside the box ways of living. They may want to live off grid in nature with you potentially, or something like that. They're definitely very interested in you, in a passionate physical way. Yes, yes. Yes, they are currently watching you. If they've taken a step back, they're watching you. Yeah, and they're going to take a risk. They're ready to take a risk, even if it feels like dying, even if it feels like they have to go into the underworld to communicate this. They're much more connected to their heart now because of the effect that this experience has had on them. An alchemization of their energy has occurred. Yes, you have had an effect on this person. So some of you may not have met this person, and I may be reading into a future timeline, okay? I'm saying this as if it was all happening right now because that's the time that I'm picking up on. But you are all on different timelines, and so some of you have not met this person yet, and some of you have, and they are watching you. And some of you have not met this person, but you will go through this sort of timeline where you meet, trigger each other, go through some separation, and then once they've had a chance to come to terms with how your energy has affected them, then they will come back. Okay. And final messages for pile 3. How does pile 3's future spouse fall in love with them? Well, we got that in a previous pile. Because of signs and synchronicities, it's impossible for them to ignore the truth of who you are to them. It's like everything in life is bringing them in flow back to you. And because when they connect with your energy, they feel so much more freedom and they feel like the world as a whole makes more sense. Things that didn't make sense to them before when they were in their very jaded, cold, sardonic sort of energy that they were in before, like a lot of things made them feel very bitter. And after connecting with your energy, they awakened to a different way of seeing the world. They are now in touch more with their own intuition, which is why they can recognize signs and synchronicities, and they are ready to receive divine flow of abundance. Yes, they're connected with divine source, with God, with their own sanctity, and they have faith and trust in the universe and in the beautiful story of their own life. They're connected with divine abundance in a different way, on a different level, and they're also connected with their own inner child on a different level. So they have confirmation. They have experienced, what do we call that? Soul retrieval. Yes, that's amazing. So I don't know, all of these piles, it's very, very spiritual. Yes, confirmation. It's like, regardless of which pile you picked this time, pile 1, 2, or 3, you must be very, very spiritual people because your future spouse falls in love with you because of a deep soul connection that has awakened them to their own truth. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because you are the high priestess. And they've gotten in touch with some really, really high level wisdom. Like not because of you, not because of something you said or something you did or taught, but because of the way that your energy impacts their energy, it gets them in touch with their own higher self. That's it. Amazing. Wow. Okay, well, this whole reading was completely different than how I expected it to go, but I hope that you enjoyed that and got something out of that. And maybe I'll try to revisit this reading again in the future. Maybe when there's a slightly different energy in the air, maybe we'll pick up a slightly different storyline. Maybe some more specific scenarios will come through. That would be fun. But this is what we got today. So thank you so much to our spirit guides for being here with us today. Thank you, Pile 3, for being here with me today. And have a great rest of your day, okay, guys? Bye.